Welcome everyone to the show. I'm your host Don Vic. You already know what it is, what it should be, and what it could be. We in the building right now. Well. Today is a special day. Today is a special day. We got some um great things to announce. We have celebrity boxer Hazel Roche going to be boxing in a couple more months. So I can't wait for that to happen. Um, so people tune in on celebrity boxing. Make sure you guys tune in and check out what's going on celebrity boxing. Also want to shout out all the viewers, all the fans, family members that tune in on the Don Big show support. I really appreciate you guys. Also want to shout out my man Tony Taylor. Now just joined Easy Way. Also want to shout out my good friend, actor, director, Natalie Perry. She just booked another um, film to work on, so big shout out to her. And I just can't wait to see what Natalie's getting into. So today we got a special guest coming on the show. She's the author of the book 100 Facebook Faces, and we're going to find out exactly what this is all about. And please, people, welcome the one and only Sabrina Oxford to the show. Sabrina, how you doing?
Hello. Let's get this party started up out in here.
Okay. I want to shout out Jennifer Dawn for making this happen. She's an amazing person, good friend of mine, and I love her to death. She's so funny. A lot of people don't know who Jennifer is, but she's hilarious.
She's awesome. She really is. She needs a good shout out. Shout out Jennifer Dawn.
Yeah. You already know. She's awesome.
She,
How long have you known Jennifer?
a few years. We had a mutual friend, Betty Dravis, and she was an author too, who hooked us up, and that's how I became connected with her. She's now passed, unfortunately, but yeah, but that's okay. I met a friend out of it, and we've been friends ever since. She's like a sis to me.
Right. Yeah. Je- Jennifer and I have mutual friends, and anytime anyone talks about Jennifer, it's all good. She has so many people that love her and look up to her, and she has inspired a lot of people, including me. She's given me a lot of advices and helped me through some of my things as far as filming my own movie and stuff. She gives me tips and stuff. So she is a great person.
She's
So
wonderful.
yeah, so I'm glad you guys are friends, and that's it makes it much easier on me. So we know you're an author, you're a writer. Um, you have several books that you have written besides 100 Facebook friends. Um,
Right.
I know that in 2011 you published a book called "Reap What You Sow," and in 2000,
Oh, yeah, that was actually an online magazine.
oh, it's a magazine, okay. And in 2015 you published another one called "Baby Ain't Built a Gift."
Baby Aunt Builds a Gift. Yes. Uh, Later on the show, we'll get over some of the triumphs that I had to go through to write this. But one of the things that I had felt was that someone was stealing my light when I was trying to accomplish things.
Oh
So I
wow.
started to write a Facebook rant, and I had called my birth mom. And I read her this, and she stayed on the phone with me for like 45 minutes. And we actually turned it into my first children's book, which I published under my um, birth name because I wrote it with my birth mom.
Oh,
And I had stopped writing the worthy books, and I'll explain that why later. But when we were doing the children's books, so I did write 4 children's books. Baby Aunt Builds a Gift is one of them. The Candlemaker's Daughter, which is also a church play that I turned into, and we did at our church. And then we have Bongo Boy Says Father's Day, and The Farmer and the Seed. and they all have a little moral to them.
Mm, that's great. So, what actually inspired you to become a writer?
I was thinking a lot about that because I knew you were going to ask me this question, because everybody asks me this question and I never really know what to answer. But the truth is I think teachers. I have to do a shout out to teachers. I
Yeah.
have, ever since I was in third grade, I brought my third grade Mrs. Johnson. I brought her a poem every day, and she said, "You're going to grow up and be a writer." And I had done that through other things that I wrote in English class. And they said, "You're going to be a writer. You're going to be a writer." So eventually, I just finally listened to all the things that the teachers were saying and said, "Well, you know what? I'll try being a writer. Let's see where this goes." And I did. And now I'm an author of over 12 published books and 3 magazines.
Oh wow. So you
I had
you
a,
yeah. Go ahead. Go
yep.
ahead.
And I had a radio show at Blog Talk Radio for about 7 years, where I had people come on and lift them up and give them their first steps so they would have their first experience on a radio show, to get them encouraged to go to their local radio show, and helped a lot of people out. That's how it says the Queen of Kindness on the book, Strikes
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
That's where the Queen of Kindness came from, was from that radio show, because I was helping people for free. And the reason why I was helping them for free was because I realized there is no place for people to go to if they don't have the money to get things done. So I would help them write their books. I'd help them, tell them where to go to get it put online, how to get their ISBN number, basically step by step on how to be an author, from having an idea to getting out to where you can go for your book signings.
That's great. I admire you for that because
Thanks.
that's the reason why I started my platform was because I don't charge anyone to come on my show. I do this from the kindness of my heart because I love to help people, and
Well, kindness.
right, and I want to see people grow. And during my career of being a host, I've met so many people in the industry with actors, directors, book writers, comedians. So I know what it is to have a talent and no one opens the doors for you, or they want to charge you, for your service or whatever it is. So I said, you know what? I want to do this for the people. I want to create a platform where people don't have to pay, but still be able to talk about their projects, talk about their talent, or just talk in general about any situation, human trafficking, violence, whatever the case may be, because everybody has a voice, right?
Right.
And so I said, okay, let me create this platform and give back to my people, because I understand that we need money, right? We need money to make the world go round, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But everything is not money, and by me doing what I do for people, um, what I give back in return are blessings, and
Exactly.
blessings to me are much more than money, you know. And I'm happy. I'm glad I can do this. I'm glad I can give a platform to you and to everyone that's been on my show, and I've connected people with other people and they're doing great, so as long as I can do that and see people win and grow, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because the blessings keep coming to me.
Right. Exactly. That's what we have to do it for. Is um, when nobody was helping me, I knew that there had to be other people out, and nobody was helping. And eventually, the goodness you put out does come back. And maybe not the exact same person, but I did a lot of helping. Well, guess what? Now that I finished this book, my friend Jennifer hooked me up with you to get me on your show. You see,
Right,
that is how karma works, and people don't understand that. Here is a blessing. So I'm
right,
blessed to be on your show. You're blessed for having her saying, "Hey, I wanted someone coming on talking about foster care, or talking about a
yeah,
new book, or talking about I need a guest. Who do
right,
you have that's going to be good for me, for my audience?" And then she brings you somebody. That's a blessing. People don't understand it. They always think, well, if I don't have money for something, then I'm not going to do it. Well,
right. Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my goodness. Then you would be doing like hardly anything in life. Like, get out there, do your life, live your life. It's
Right.
your life.
That's right. And life is what you make it, right?
Right.
And that's how I look at it. And I make my own money. I got a great job. And it's to me, money's not a big factor. People are a big factor to me. I care more about people than anything else, right? So this is why I do what I do, and I enjoy doing it. I meet so many great people from all over the world, and every individual, even though it might be the same subject that we talk about, it's always different. You know, it's always different. There's something along the line that they might say different, and I just like to hear people's opinion about certain things. So,
Right.
I'm just grateful that God gave me this opportunity to be able to open this platform for people like yourself and everyone else that's been on the show. So let's talk about your book. 100 Facebook friends. Tell us exactly what that book's about.
Whoops. I tripped just as you said that.
Easy, easy.
Easy on the chair. Excitement here, people. Okay, so we have 100 Facebook friends. I'm just going to kind of like flip through it so people can kind of get a brief lookings of it.
Okay.
This is Ramona Howard. She's an actress.
Okay.
This this gentleman is Larry Sheen, just a longtime friend who's known me from the very, very, very first book I tried writing.
Okay.
I'm just opening up a random page and see what we got. Here is a
Officer.
officer. Oh, and that's the index.
Okay.
But basically, you get a picture and a page. What? That's not doing it very well, people. I'm sorry. Hey, let me get it better.
You're gonna have to. They're gonna have to buy the book to.
You have to buy the book, right? But I'm trying to give you an idea. Woo!
Yeah.
It's a picture and a page about 100 amazing individuals that are using their life in a worthy manner, that aren't sitting around being couch potatoes saying, why is my life not becoming better? These are people who are actually going out and making life better. People that we can learn from, an example, a lesson, a piece of wisdom that they have to share. And it's their lives. And this is my fourth book of this. Hold on one second.
Okay. You want me to freeze for a second?
No, I'm right back. Look how quick that was.
I froze for you. Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So these are also 100. Each book contains about 100 amazing people. This was worth. Whoops. This is worthy. The first one.
Okay.
That I ever wrote. And they're all just about 100 people that receive some type of gift from me, a random act of kindness from me. My long-term intentions is that once a year when I put out one of these books, that I'll be able to invite just the people in the book to a special event at the end of the year. Shh. Hush, hush. Only people in your show get to know this ahead of time.
Okay.
Then I wrote The Invisible, which is what's invisible, what's visible inside, that you have to look beyond a person. You don't look and see what is
on the outside.
Right. You got to take the time to know who a person is.
Right.
Give them a chance. Everybody has a little bit of bad and a little bit of good, and it's just a matter of which is which. And we all can have the potential for greatness if the people around us would stop discouraging people and just use their words to lift people up and say, hey, what's your goal today? What's your goal in life? I can't do anything about that, but I know George who can, or I do know somebody who can do something about it, or I am that person. Right. And do that. This book is about helping us find how to be the best version that we can be. And
interesting.
And it's not coming just from me and my opinion of what I think is the best version, which is a lot of self-help books, is one person's telling you their side of the story. Right. I have literally 100, 200, 300, 400 people that can tell you what it's like to use their life in a worthy manner, no matter what difficulty they've been in through in life, including myself, who has had
And
4 different people try to murder me,
oh wow,
who's been dead 4 different times, unrelated to the 4 people trying to murder me, and has
wow,
been held captive for 5 months with 2 other girls being abused.
oh
Now,
wow.
if I can still do something with my life and lift up what is good, anybody can do that.
That's right. And
You just gotta do it.
right.
Yeah. And
So
people,
go ahead. And
they
people,
say people use excuses in their life about this bad thing happened to me 20 years ago, or this bad thing happened to me 20 minutes ago. I can't do anything for it. Well, you know, I have PTSD issues. Obviously, you can't go through those many life hardship traumas that I've gone through without some type of side effect. That doesn't mean that you can't still do something in your life with the side effects. You just figure out how to work around it. And my way of working around it was finding inspiration in the other people around me, which is what we should all be doing anyways.
right, right. So tell me a little bit about the foster care.
Okay, so foster cares, there are about 670,000 people are in foster care nationally each year.
Right.
About 20% of those age out of the foster care system at age 18 with nowhere else to go but either back to the house that they were removed from.
Hmm.
Keep in mind, you're removed because of abuse or neglect, or because the parents were such bad parents that the universe said, hey, we got to step on in and take these kids away from you.
Right.
So you're either there or you're on the streets.
Mm.
And of the people that age out of the 20% that age out, at least 20% of them end up homeless in the first 3 years of their exiting time because there's nowhere to go. Me, I got out at 18. I turned 18, graduated the same week. That was in May of 1988. Shh, don't do the age.
Don't worry about we ain't worried about the age. So
But
what were some of the experiences that you went through when you was in foster care? What are
Well, see,
some?
that's just it. I'm glad you brought that up. You know how commercials make it look like, oh, you're in there for just a short period of time
Yeah, that's right.
and you get adopted to this wonderful family, and the commercials make it all look so happy. But the reality is 20%, 20 to 28%, I can't remember. Hang on, I'll tell you exactly. Freeze frame.
Freeze frame.
Freeze frame. I want to make sure I got the right statistic.
Guys, please share the show.
Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. 28% end up abused in their homes. When you end up like sexually abused, when you end up in a foster care system and you've been moved to even one other home than the home you're placed in, that child that just got removed from an abusive situation and put into this home that home is now being investigated for some type of neglect or abuse. One of the situations that I was in was I had called my social worker. I finally had enough. I couldn't have been but 12 years old, but I had had enough with this home. And I said, they're up there eating full meals while I'm down here in the basement eating soup.
Oh
And they're
wow.
laughing about it. And I
Wow.
dragged the phone as far as I could. It had those long 25-foot cords back in the day.
Right.
So I dragged it as long as I could, and she could hear them laughing about it. So that was one home that I got removed from. Another home I got removed from was from a sexual abuse situation. Another home I got removed from was just a simple, it was only supposed to be short term. Why we found your parents after your brother shot you. So that's how I ended up getting put in at 10 and never allowed to go back home.
Wow.
So I had my brother, it was a BB gun. So, in adult perspective, not as dangerous, but to a 10-year-old, when your 17-year-old brother's coming at you with this big gun and you get shot and there's a bullet left in you that a doctor has to remove,
Right.
it's pretty traumatic.
Yes,
And
it
then he
is.
tells the doctor he wanted to kill me because I was too nice. I would never survive in the world. And he was doing me a favor.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he was being a smart aleck.
Was this your
And
brother, your biological brother, or?
yes, this is my biological brother.
Oh
And
God.
he was being a smart aleck. And that smart aleck got me put in foster homes till I was 18. I was never allowed to go back
Wow.
because of how severe it was, because I had already been through so much abuse. And then here he comes and shoots somebody. They're afraid that next time he'll use a bigger gun, a better gun, or
Right.
aim better, or whatnot.
Wow.
Now we have, as adults, since met. He's apologized. We're now brother and sister. I
Okay.
mean, I was 10. I'm in my now. So I mean, it was a lifetime ago.
Right. Right. I mean, I'm in my 50s. It's okay. I mean,
Right.
I ain't got nothing to hide. You know what I mean? It
Right.
is what it is. We ain't
I'm
getting no younger, so we ain't getting no younger. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So
I'm
how did you manage to, you know, stay
survived.
focused? So yeah, stay focused and survive going through this abuse. What
Well,
what kept you strong? What kept you standing on your 2 feet?
I wasn't a typical little child, as in the sense that when I still lived with my birth family, even though they were not a church going Christian home, I was a person who got invited to church by my friend Rachel. They had Kool-Aid, they had cookies, they had smiles, they had hugs. Nothing bad was going on. And I would sneak off every Sunday to church. Now, but that's what I did. I snuck off every Sunday, ran over to Rachel's house, went to church with her. I even had my Sunday school. We were going over the 10 Commandments where thou shalt not lie. And I had asked but teacher, is there ever a time where we can lie? Please, like, please tell me the time. And she's like, what do you want to lie about? I mean, here I am, 6 years old. And I'm like, please tell me I can lie sometimes.
Right, right.
She's like, and she's like, well, why are you lying? I said, well, every time I go home, my mom figures out I snuck off and went to church. I get beat real bad and stood in the corner, so I would learn not to go to church.
Wow.
Which, ironically, with my particular personality, had a reverse effect. I kept sneaking off to church.
Right.
And then when I got put into foster homes at 10, I said I was only going to go if they went to church. I wasn't going to go because I knew by then there was a difference in the way people got treated who had a faith system and a moral compass and those who had none.
Mm.
And I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand it at 10. I just knew that the only chance I had is if they went to church. So much to the point that at 16, I said, you guys are screwing up my life. I want you to put an ad in the paper. I want you to find me a pastor for a foster dad. And that's where I'm going to live for the rest of my foster care.
Mm.
And they did. And they're still my family to today.
That's
I
amazing.
have a nurse mom who is a school nurse who, ironically, check this out, talk about planning, talk about universal God planning, whatever your faith system is. But 16 years I'm 16, I go into foster care, meet this new foster mom. I'm in Spanish class. We're going to Mexico. I need to get my passport. So I have to get my birth certificate and I have her read it. And she's like, oh my goodness. Unless my foster mom was sick that day, she was being a resident to the delivery doctor that signed my birth certificate at the hospital. And 16 years later, she ends up as my foster mom.
Wow. That
She's
is
in the room with my mom, helping to deliver me. And even if she was sick that day, Back then, they stayed in the hospital longer. She held me as a baby, and I end up as her foster kid, requesting a pastor, which means she had to marry a pastor in order for that to happen.
Wow. And what were the chances of that happening?
That's what I'm saying. Life has a plan. We
Yeah.
might not get it. We might not understand it. Timings might not be there. You might meet somebody at one time and then never see them for years, and all of a sudden, boom, they're right back in your life. You don't know what life has planned or why it has planned. You
Right.
just got to go with it.
Right. What was running through your mind at that moment when you was being abused? Like, what was you thinking? What was your state of mind at that moment when you felt,
It
when it
depends.
had?
It
Go ahead.
depends on what abuse. Unfortunately, I've been through a lot of them. Um, which one? The one of in foster care specifically?
Yeah.
Oh,
Foster care.
okay. Well, when you're in foster care, you're younger than 18. You don't feel that you have a voice. You don't feel that you can say anything. There's no way for you to defend yourself. And if you do try to stand up for yourself and say something, you're labeled as a difficult child because you're standing up for yourself.
Okay.
So then they'll just move you. So the only way to stay still is to just never complain about anything, keep your mouth shut and breathe and hope you can get through this one without being hurt.
Okay. So when you say move where? Let
They'll
me give
move
you.
you if you get abused in a home, they will move you. I was in 12 places and 9 schools from 10 to 18, all because somebody in the home had some type of abusive situation towards me. So once I got removed from my abusive home, it didn't stop. It just changed the form of how I was abused.
Wow. So mentally, physically, you know,
Well, you go to counseling.
yeah, but
I started going at
this can make a kid that has no problems at all actually end up with a lot of problems going through these
right,
foster homes, seeing all these things. And the reason why I want you to talk about this is because there's a lot of people out there that are in those institutions or know or have children that there are in that institution and probably think, like you said earlier, that everything's good, you're having a good meal, that's not that's not the case in every situation, and that's why I want you to talk about this because you know, we need to bring awareness to the people, to the community, that these foster kids that are in these institutions, um, you know, they go through it. It's
right.
not always peaches and creams. You know, and and we need to be aware of what's going on in the system. And maybe you can help someone with your story and how you dealt with it and how you overcame it.
Okay, well, I overcame it by believing that if I continue putting my best foot forward, I will have a life. Someone once said to me, the best revenge is living well. Like, I can't undo being raped. I can't undo being beat. I can't undo being shot. I can't undo being knifed. I can't undo somebody starving me. I can't undo being homeless. I can't undo these things. What I can do is figure out what can I do today to make sure that tomorrow has a chance at being better than what it was yesterday. Which means that you need to come up with a goal. If you don't feel you have a life purpose, then all you have to do is think of this. What is it that you are currently good at that comes easy and naturally to you? How can you find a way to make money selling that in some size, shape, or form?
Right.
Who else can you have benefit from some other charity that you either start or just participate in? And what groups of people do you have around you that also want to join you on your purpose? And that is what you do to create a purpose. So if you're out there and you don't know what your purpose is, and you just sit here saying life is just dumped on me and dumped on me and dumped on me, hey, I got the ace card on life dumping on you. I get it. Life dumps on you. I got dumped on Christmas. like, who dumps their girlfriend on Christmas? So I mean, life dumps on you. what you need to do is say, I don't care that life is going to dump on me. I'm still who I am, and I'm still going to accomplish this goal. And I'm going to find my team, and who's going to be my team. And then you go find your team, your friends that want to share. My goal is helping foster care. I give up till this point, I've given pretty much 80% of everything I've earned into helping foster care go to college.
That's awesome.
I keep out enough to pay my bills and to put food on my table. I don't have a car. I don't have credit cards. I don't live extravagant in any capacity. I don't even wear jewelry.
You need some?
I see you got enough for both of us. You got enough for both of us here.
Yeah. So, you know,
I live
you,
simple, and I put my stuff forward. Now this book, I'm giving half of my profits. That's what I'm committing to the sales of
100 feet.
100 Facebook,
Right.
100 Facebook friends, which
Right.
can be bought on Lulu, um, Amazon, and Barnes and Noble coming November 3rd. Lulu today. But half my profits go to send foster kids to college through People's Reach Out and Foster Care, which is a charitable corporation that we're turning into a 501c3. We had to close it down during COVID times, but now with the new book coming out, we're going to use the sales from that book specifically to restart this. And hopefully our goal is 10,000 books by Christmas so that we can send one foster kid to college. That's all I need, is to sell 10,000 books. Every 10,000 books means one foster kid will have a better future, better education. They'll have their college, they'll have their transportation, they'll have their books, their, everything that they'll need for college.
Right. And I just want to say that you're blessed, right? You're blessed because going through what you went through the system, you became an amazing woman. You became a great writer. You know, um, and a lot of people probably didn't have that chance because coming up in a foster home, going through abuse and seeing what you see, you know, a lot of them just a lot of them are probably good kids. They've just been in bad situations, you know, and go to these places and become monsters, because they see the abuse, they see, and they can create a rapist, they can create a murderer just because they went through a situation where they say, you know what, I hate people, I hate, this and that, and you, you
It
can be,
creates one or the other. You either
yes,
going to turn out very kind and
or very,
humble,
or
or
very
you're going to turn
evil.
out very violent and abusive.
Yes. So and this is why I like to talk about this because people need to be aware of what's going on. And I know that people say a lot of people are against abortions, and I get it. But I think that a woman should have the right to choose if she wants to have a child or not, depending on her situation. Because for me, and this is my opinion, right? This is my opinion. If I was in that situation and I knew that I couldn't afford to raise a child, feed him, put him through good schools, I wouldn't want that burden on me, you know,
Right.
and
There's lots
definitely right, and I definitely wouldn't want to have a child and send them to one of these institutions and not never see them again or not know what's going on. That'll kill me mentally, you know. So when they say, you know, no more abortions, you know, I get it for some people, but I'll be against it for this reason, for this reason, because, I think that if a woman, it's not stable, if a woman, she's down and out, and she's going to bring a child to this world where the child is going to suffer, then she should have a, you know, choice to either bring this kid to and put him in that situation or
there is adoption though.
right, an adoption. But you know, again, going to adoptions, you're not you're not guaranteed a good life. You know,
Right.
you're not
And then,
guaranteed a good life by being adopted. You can have some people can adopt you, and all they want to do is abuse you, or you know, use you for human trafficking, sell you. You know, send you to different. You know, so
it,
those are chances that people take.
right. And it would be really nice if everybody in the world waited until they got married so you don't have to worry about getting somebody pregnant before you
Yeah,
got married, or any
good point. Good
cotton
point.
popping hole people out there, or whatever's going out there to try and trap people. I understand it. Some people have babies because they just want this emotion so bad that they'll have a baby without thinking, am I going to be a good parent? Is this the right situation to bring a child into? Am
Correct.
I prepared to raise this child the way it is? Or am I doing this for, my greedy own purpose? Like, I'm emotionally suffering, so let's have a child to feel that emotion. I want this man to be married to me. Let's have a child to make him be married to me.
Right.
That emotional guilt trip part. So, I mean, I really don't want to touch on the whether or not somebody should or should not get an abortion because it's
Yeah.
such a touchy subject.
Yeah. That was just my
But
opinion.
in regards, bringing it back to foster care,
Yes.
and that if there is a parent out there that you know now just by watching the show that you are not going to make it, and you're pregnant, then I mean, I would say find a family member that would be responsible and see if
Okay.
that family member is willing to help raise it. So at least the child's connected to the family.
That
Because
was
when my brother shot me, that was it. No more connection to the family. No explanation to the 10-year-old child as to why.
wow.
So you leave the whole time thinking you're in prison, you did something really bad, mom took you away, you don't know what's wrong, you don't know how to fix it. You spend your whole time trying to get the best grades or be in this club or that club, because then if maybe then you'll be able to allowed to go back home. And it's not until you're an adult where you realize, oh, the parents screwed up, because they don't tell you, they don't explain to you, you're too young, you wouldn't understand. And that's wrong, because if you know somebody in foster homes, be brave and tell them why. Somebody tell them the truth,
Right.
because they just don't say anything. You just get packed up, you get a couple of hours and a trash bag and 2 weeks of clothes and one toy. And then you got to move to the next and you don't get an explanation why. Now sometimes you know why, because you just got abused. When I called on two foster moms, and the one that was making me eat soup while they were eating normal meals and then laughing about it, and another foster mom that I got really violently sick and she never brought me to the doctor or even took my temperature, and then just left me there at home alone. So then I thought, okay, this is not a good mom, for mom's sake. So I got to get out of here. I'm going to end up with a bad mom. And
Right.
then that's when I finally went to a pastor's home, and that was a good home. And there are good homes, don't get me
Yes.
wrong, there are good homes out there. It's just that if a child tells you that they've been moved to more than one foster home and they're on their second or third, because once you're on your third foster home, you only have a 46% chance of graduating high school. It
Mhm.
drops below gang levels. It drops below poverty levels of their that have usually like a 48 to a 52%, depending on where you are.
Right.
Um, but it drops below that. You only have a 46. If you were a betting person, you would bet that the foster kid would not graduate high school before you would bet that they did. Now,
Really.
I ended up on the B honor roll, 12 schools,
Amen.
or 12 foster homes, 9 schools from 10 to 18. I graduated in the B honor roll. I just made it, but I made it.
Because you was determined. You was determined to win.
Right. I was determined to not let this be who I was. I knew who I was. I knew what I wanted to do in life. I knew I wanted to help foster kids at 16. I didn't know how, but
Right.
I knew that I was going to spend my adult life figuring it out, which I did.
Okay.
And I
That's
did it
that's great. So
because I developed a purpose, like explained earlier. If you don't feel you have a purpose, that's how you develop it. What comes naturally to you? How can you make money at it? Who else can benefit besides just your greedy little butt? Like, you got to make sure that everybody gets toys for tots,
that was
you know?
funny. That was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, give some to Toys for Tots. Give some. And why do I stress this? Because somebody who, let's say I wrote this book and you wrote the exact same book, and you're holding up a book and I'm holding a book, and one of us is giving that money to charity and one of us is keeping all the profits.
Right.
Who do you think that they're going to buy the book from?
Good
People
question.
generally will say, I will buy the book from the one giving to charity, because not only am I buying her book, but I'm making a foster kid's future be educated that would not have it, which means I spent $20 and I'm a piece of that person's pay it forward future.
Yes.
That person might become a doctor. I paid $20 to help that person become a doctor
That's
because
awesome.
I bought a book. But with you, all they're doing is getting you rich. Not you personally. I'm just saying
Yeah.
person B,
Right.
person A and person B. So you figure out your purpose by figuring out what comes naturally. How can you make money at it? Who else can benefit beside you? And what group of people do you have with you that wants to join you on your mission?
Mm,
And that's how you get, and you want 5 people all together, you and 4 others
mm.
at least, because it really takes that money to make sure that you're motivated. If you have just one person that's a business partner, you still have people around you that are encouraging you, supporting you, giving you words of encouragement. And if you're around people that are saying you can't do this, I don't believe in you,
Yeah.
or any kind of cut them out, just
Right. Yeah.
out the door.
Definitely got to get rid of negativity. That's especially if you're a person that you're positive and you're a go getter, you're ambitious. You can't have nothing less than that beside you. You know,
Right.
because you're like a moving train. You're going full force forward. You don't got time to look back. You ain't got time to pause. You're going at a certain rate. You're moving. So you need that same team moving with you at the same time.
Right.
So I get it 100%. If you can go back in life and change anything, what would it be?
That's a really hard question. If I would say that I changed all the abuse that I went through, then that would mean I would never wrote any of my books.
Right. Because you have to go through an experience to be able to write what you're writing.
Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
understandable. And we all do. Everything that happens in our life is not a mistake. Because God don't make mistakes. I look at it like you go through things in life to be able to talk about it in the future so you can help someone that's going through that, and you can tell them how you got over it, and maybe something that you say might sparkle something in their head. Say, wow, I'm gonna try what he or she said to see if I can get out of that situation or to see if it works for me. So everything all the that happens in our life, it's an experience for us to be able to talk about it. I mean, if we're still living, and encourage other people to you know find a way out. Because I've had people here that have been through domestic violence, right? And we spoke
Right.
about it, and and the first thing I asked them is like, well, how did you get over it? How did you get over it? What did you do to get out of that situation you've been in? And they say it. So um that just that piece that can help someone else that's watching the show that's probably going through an abuse, that said, wait a minute, I haven't tried that. Let me try that. And it may be working. You don't know whose life you're saving just by having this conversation that we're having right now.
Right. We could be inspiring somebody to have a whole new future. Or maybe
Correct.
a father kid saying, wait a minute, I want to. I want to be that one that sits there and I got good grades. I got grades good enough to get into school or VOTech school. I'll be that person who applies and gets that scholarship.
Mm, mm, mm.
You never know you're right. You never know who's listening. Your words are powerful. So you got to make sure that when you speak, that you speak with love and with kindness, because the last thing we need is any more people in this world trying to discourage another soul.
You're right about that. So besides being a writer, right?
Mhm.
What other goals would you like to accomplish?
Well, I'm the founder and president of People's Reach Out and Foster Care, which I said is a charitable corporation. It sends scholarship programs for foster kids to go to college. We had to shut that down during COVID time, so I wanted to start that back up again, which is what we're going to be doing with the book sales and stuff. Hopefully in 2023, fingers crossed, we have our goals set, and we're working towards that. And then it's just a matter of, once that started up, to how many people can we get in, each year, and continue to grow that.
That's awesome. Um, what inspiring message can you give the people that want to be an author or a writer? That want to be a writer.
Oh boy. Okay. So if you want to be an author or a writer, those are actually two different things.
Right.
If you want to be a writer, then be a writer and don't do it for recognition, like, because you're probably going to be a ghost writer. If you want to be an author, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be an author, you have to be prepared to go on podcasts, to be filmed on video, to go on television shows, to talk about your story, to talk about your book. You have to be prepared to do more than just, hey, I wrote a book and you and my friends and family can buy it. If you want to be an author, you have to go on book signings. You have to have either yourself or staff set those book signings up. There's a lot more into it. So I guess the inspirational message is, know that it is work worth working for.
Okay. My friend Brian Lavardi, good friend of mine, he's on here now. He's a founder of Parapost Network, which we're on one of those networks right here live. He's saying, unfortunately, those are the kids that are forgotten.
Foster kids, yes.
Yeah.
Most of them, yes, they are forgotten. They're the group that nobody really talks about in the news. Nobody really, like, May is National Foster Care Month. So I suppose somewhere around May, they might bring something up. But again, they're bringing up the commercials of these happy children getting adopted into these happy families after so many days of being in there, when the reality is they've gone through a lot of abuse. They got put in homes. They probably were abused more. And that only is applicable to such a small percent of what's really going on. And maybe I'm not supposed to burst the bubble on it, but there's the truth. And the foster kids do get forgot about. And there is nothing for them afterwards. Like, where do you go when you're 25 and you mess up? You go back to your parents, right? You go crash on their couch. You say, I screwed up, Mom. I screwed up, Dad. Let me crash here. I screwed up, brother, sister. But when you're a foster kid and you emancipate out of the system, there is no family for you to go back, because they don't know you. There's no bonds there. There's no memories developed. Right. You don't have, hey, remember when we used to play in the treehouse? You don't have those.
That must be scary.
Yeah, it's like, hey, remember when you were 18 and you said hi to me for the first time in your life? I mean, you have those kind of memories. Like, so there's nobody for them to go back to. I know with People's Reach Out in Foster Care, we eventually want to get to a point where we have a building where, like, I would like to buy an abandoned school, honestly, fix it all up, and let those rooms get turned into the people that apply for the scholarship program.
Yes.
If they're in the scholarship program, we send them to college. They have a room. They can come there at their Christmas. They can come there at Thanksgiving. They can come there on their birthday. They get birthday cards. They get holiday cards. They get treated like family.
That's a great idea. And I'm on shit with you with that one. If you get it, you need my help, I'm there. Because I can just imagine what these kids go through. Just thinking about one thing, just thinking about, wow, Mom and Dad don't love me. They gave me up. Just that right there kills me. And not thinking about the other stuff that they go through while they're in the system. You have to be really strong to get through that. And I take my hair off to those, kids that, keep it together, stay strong, and keep moving forward no matter what they go through. Because I'm pretty sure not a lot of them make it. I'm pretty sure a lot of them commit suicide because they can't take it anymore.
I was just going to bring that up. Suicide rates among foster kids getting ready to emancipate out of the system is the highest of all the groups.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Please forgive me for not remembering what the actual statistic was, but of teenagers that are getting ready to go into adult world, those emancipating have the highest suicide rate out of no matter who you were, no matter how poor you were, how underprivileged you were, no matter what your family life was, if you're coming up with a single parent or living with your grandma or aunt or whatever, um, the foster kids do have the highest suicide rate because they know that there's nowhere to go. They don't know where they're going to go. There are states that have implemented having a exit location, but you oftentimes that exit location is back to the abusive home that they were removed from, that they have no knowledge or bonds for. Now, I have bonded with my birth family because I am a persistent and determined person. But so I have very good relationships with both my foster family and my birth family. Matter of fact, my birth brother came to stay with me after his divorce a few years ago. So, and we are nothing like each other, but nevertheless, we're here, we're supporting each other, we're helping each other out.
Okay, so let me ask you this: Is there an age limit? Is there an age limit when you're in foster care that they say, okay, you're gonna we'll take you from an example 5, but when you're 21, you're out of here. We can't have you anymore.
Right. There is an age limit depending on what state that you are at. The majority of them are age 18. There are a few of them that have extended it to 21. That has happened since I have left the system. At the time that I was still in the system, it was 18 for everywhere. Now they have implemented up to age 21 in states, and I'm not exactly sure what the special circumstances have to be for that, but there are circumstances that must be met and require for the requirement for them. And I think that might have to do with whether or not they're going to stay with them if they are going to go to some type of post-secondary education or not. But I do know there are specific requirements for them to be able to stay after the age of 18 up to the age of 21.
Wow.
And not every state offers that. So state to state has different rules.
Different rules. So my friend Brian, um,
Hi,
listen,
Brian.
Brian is an amazing guy. Brian is from the paranormal world. He's a paranormal investigator, and everyone on that team is amazing. So he's saying that he would love if we can connect, and maybe the global ghost hunt can get involved.
Sweet. Sweet.
So
Let's find a way. Let's find a pathway. You create a pathway and I'll walk it.
right. So what I'll do after the show is I'll connect you with Brian, and whatever you guys decide to do, um, you guys can do it. And if I can be a help of anything, you you got my text. You just text me, and whatever we can do, we'll make it happen because we are about the people. And I'm just grateful to have you on the show because these are things that we need to talk about. These are the important things that people need to know, and we don't talk about it much. Same thing with human trafficking and child abuse. Like these are topics that should be talked about. In my opinion, every day. Um, you know, because there's a lot of kids that are being lost in the sauce once they come out of these institutions. They have nowhere to go, no family members to call and give them a hand. So tough. Life is tough, for some of these kids that grow up in foster care. Um, and and
For
what you
all of
said, right, and what you said was an amazing idea by trying to get a building and putting it
them.
together.
Specifically, I want to get a school,
Well,
abandoned school
a
building.
Spanish
And the
school.
reason, right, and the reason why is there's usually a gym involved so that they have something to practice in. There's usually a lunchroom, a cooking area.
Yes.
Classrooms can easily be converted into bedrooms. If
And give
there's
them
a
skills.
stage, right, and if there's like a stage in there, there might be a swimming pool. If there's a stage in there, they can do plays and sell tickets to plays to help earn their fund for their college. Because when we put them through the scholarship program, we don't just hand them money and say, here you go. We put them through a program that teaches them bonding, how to bond with other people, with your teammates, get them some teammates to help them. If they don't have friends, to be their teammates. Like the last ones we were doing were mosaics, and they have 5,000 photos to fill up a mosaic. So then they have 4 other people on their team. They go at the state fairs or valley fairs, theme parks, wherever we can get them set up to do that. And then people pay to put their photo in there. We hand out some prizes to random people that paid to get their photo in there, and they use the money, and what they raise, they get the majority of that for their college, their psychological, medical, dental, food, housing, and shelters. So I would like to be able to have a building where they can just stay. And especially now that so many classes are done online, there should be even a library in a school, so we can set that up where they can go down with their laptops and do their schooling online, and then go back to their like dorm room, for lack of a better explanation, and give them a college type experience where they can always come back to that room.
That's amazing. That's a great idea. Brian says he was adopted,
Sweet.
but he didn't go through the system. So he says he was lucky, but some kids aren't. And
Right.
Brian, those are blessings. And even though you was adopted, Brian, you're a great guy. You know, you're in my eyes. You're a great guy. You're out for the people. You're out to help, and you know, I'm proud to say I'm your friend. And I'm definitely going to connect you with Sabrina and see what we can come up with, because Sabrina got some great ideas, especially trying to get a school and put all these different things in the school for the kids to be able to do. Because some might want to be singers, some might want to be computer experts, some might want to be in the Olympics and want to be swimmers. So if you are giving all these type of opportunities, uh, man, you're helping so many kids, man, and the blessings that you will get are unbelievable. you know, and
Well, and it all starts with whether or not we can reach our goal of 10,000 books by Christmas.
there you go. So, um, where is your website?
Okay, well, you can go to lulu.com. There's a spotlight page, so you know to put the slashes. Spotlight. What? There we go. So, right now, today, for the people that are listening in, you can go to lulu.com, the spotlight, Sabrina Oxford. So lulu.com /spotlight / Sabrina Oxford, because you need to go to their spotlight page to see it. Or just, probably Google Lulu Sabrina Oxford books spotlight. It'll probably pop up that way. Come November 3rd, we'll be, maybe even tomorrow, actually. I didn't want to say anything and jinx it. So knock on wood, fingers crossed tomorrow. But we'll be on the Amazon and Barnes and Noble. We got approval for them for public release on November 3rd.
That's amazing. Have you
And then
ever?
that,
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that would be on Amazon, Sabrina Oxford books.
Mm. Have you ever thought of making a film
About
about the book? About the experiences you've been through, and the stuff that you've seen as you grew up. Uh,
I'm just now getting to the point of being able to communicate about it, but Jennifer and I have communicated about maybe doing a film, although I don't know if she wants to do any more films at this stage in her life.
right.
But I will talk with her and see what she wants to do. If she wants to put something together, I'm all game. I know that she did an anti-bullying campaign back when Betty Dravis was alive,
Yes.
and had in there when I had my first children's book, The Candlemaker's Daughter. So technically, I'm an actress in the Flowers in the Snow and shoot, what was the other one? I don't know. It's on IMBD, so I'll have to check that out. But
Right.
yeah, maybe we can get something going for a movie.
That'll be awesome. I mean, you got a great story, and if it's put together right with the right director, I think that movie will be amazing.
And who do you feel would be a good director?
Uh,
What was the right director?
Hello, Jennifer Dawn.
All right, you said the right
Okay,
thing. You got
okay.
to manifest that.
I'll get beat up if I would have said any other name.
I
Believe me,
know.
this phone would have been ringing right now. What do you mean?
You
I
tell
love
him
her.
you better say my name.
I love her to death, Jennifer. I love her, Jennifer. If you're watching, I love you. So,
She's
what's next?
awesome.
What's next for you?
What's next is I still have to go through the normal thing that an author would have to do. So if you are trying to be an author, please understand it's podcast, it's appearances, it's getting your story out there. If you know of another person that would like to have this type of story on their podcast, shoot that name over and let them know about me.
Oh,
Um,
well, I know many. This is my brother Brian. He has a paranormal show, podcast. Even though it's about paranormal, but I'm pretty sure he will love.
I told you died 4 times. I had 3 NDEs, so I
Really?
understand paranormal.
Whoa, wait. So 4 times?
I did. When I was 7, I got accidentally poisoned on a school field trip. I was sent back to my body because my mom was worried because she didn't know where I was. So they sent me back to the body so that I could get the body so that she could know where I was. But I was 7. That was a poison on a school field trip. Then at 16, I died in my foster mom's arms from a medicine that a doctor gave me, and she resuscitated me back to life. I had stopped the whole breathing stuff. And all I remember is coming to, I had left, but when I'd come back, I came back because she had prayed prayers that were really personal. And at the time I thought, well, she's a good foster mom. So I went back. It was a choice. I did get to go back, but she was concerned about, I remember her being concerned about how the congregation would react if a foster child died in their home and he's a pastor and she's a nurse and we couldn't keep this child alive. And I remember thinking, she's a good mom. It's kind of a selfish prayer because it wasn't like, hey, she's 16. She hasn't seen her mom in a while. She has her whole life ahead of her. It wasn't like that. So I went back. So that was by a choice. Then at 19, I went to give blood and I didn't know I was hypoglycemic and I died. Found out the hard way that I can never give blood again or plasma, or can never give plasma again. That's what it was. I gave plasma. I can never do that again. So that was a scary situation. And then I had a heart attack at 42. Now, the first ones, I had 3 NDEs, and the heart attack, I did have no experience at all.
Oh my God.
But each one of them, the last one, I came back because I knew that my grandma was going to die in a few short months, and I didn't want my birth mom that I had just met to have to lose her mom and her just meeting her daughter after 8 years, to lose both of them. So I came back by choice. So I had 1 I got sent back, 2 by choice, and I don't know about the heart attack, I guess against my will.
So, okay, you said something very interesting. You died 4 times, and the
Yeah.
question that came to my mind was this: did you see where you went to, and if you saw where your body went to or your soul, what did you see?
Well, the first time I was 7, and I remember even just telling you it, I can remember everything. And it was like I came back in here, back into my body, looking at me going into my body, like I was looking at a mirror. So the
Right.
experience I had was weird because when I came in, I flew in like a white light into my body. So here's my body laying there, and I flew in like this down into it. Then I was looking south. I remember looking south, and it was like there was angels there, but it was almost like, when you go into one of those psychiatrist rooms and they have the mirror, but they're really behind the mirror.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you like when you'll be
yeah.
interrogated in jail. They sit you down, the
Right.
mirror there, and you on the other side. I've been there. I know what that is.
Okay, okay. So it was kind of like that. It wasn't that kind of a mirror,
Right.
but it was like there was a piece of glass there, and they stood behind it, and me going down, I reflected off of it, and I could see me, and I have never forgotten that. And it had changed what I was doing, and that is what started me doing random act of kindnesses. Like everybody that's in these books, I've done a kindness for at some point in their life, but maybe one or two per book that I haven't gotten to yet, or life circumstances like, hey, you're not in my life anymore. It might be kind of awkward. um, like if it was somebody from the past or they passed away and I wasn't able to. But ever since I was 7, I started doing random act of kindnesses because of my experience that I had when I came back from the dead.
That's
And I was gone for an extended period of time. I think it was like 2.5 hours, 2 hours, somewhere between 2.5 hours. And a lot of people say, well, that's not medically possible. Well, hello, I'm a living proof that it is medically possible. So, that was 2 fingers. I did 2 fingers.
I didn't see that. Anyway, right? So the reason
Right.
why I asked you this is because one of my nephews, he was running the street and got into some stuff, and he was left for dead. They sliced his throat on top of a car that left him for dead. So in the
He would
hospital,
have been able.
huh?
He would have been able to be above his body and see all that.
Right. So the funny thing is that when he was at the hospital, when he came through, because he died, he was dead for like maybe 15 minutes, and they brought him back. And the first thing he said was, "I seen Angel." So in my head, I'm thinking he's seen like angels, but he was actually talking about his cousin that died previous. He was 17. He was shot dead. Um, he said, "I seen Angel," and I said, "Like a body angel, like wings." He goes, "No, my cousin Angel." I said, "You saw him?" He goes, "Yeah, I seen him just like I'm seeing you right now." I said, "Did he say anything?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Don't worry, it's not your time yet."
Okay, so so I understand that because the second time that I had gone,
Mhm.
um, no, I'm sorry, the third time that I had gone when I had given the plasma, I had that experience where, not that it's not your time yet, but that where you see other people, but they're not. I mean, yes, you see them like I'm seeing you, but not like I'm seeing you. I
Right.
don't know how to describe it because I have no visual. It's like if you were a white being, a
Yeah.
being of white light instead of the body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you took your body and just had your energy essence, because that's what it's like you're seeing people's energy essence. It's colorful, it's pretty, it's white. It's like snow. It's like the sun shining on snow white. It's
Right.
bright like that.
Well, maybe that's probably what he saw, but he said, he seen he's seen him like he saw me. Maybe he's seen the
Well,
face
maybe
picture.
he could have seen an earthbound spirit. I have not seen that earthbound spirit, but I have met other people who have.
Yeah. So
And how did Angel go? Did Angel end up passing away from a murder situation or
yeah,
like a
it was a
what?
murder. It was a murder.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. Um, Sorry, sometimes I pick up on things. So, um, listen, when you go because of that type of a hard situation, it has a heavy weight to you. It's kind of like walking in a bouncy house with cement shoes. Yes, it's meant for you to bounce up, but if you have cement shoes, you're really not going to be able to fly up. that kind of I want my murder solved, or I committed suicide and the reasons why isn't known. It can weigh a soul where they don't leave. I don't know why, but it weighs on them. Do you know who murdered him? Is it solved?
Um, the street solved it. Let's put it that way. You know, the, the
Right, right. I understand what you mean by that. You don't need to say anything more.
right. So um, just the way, just the way
It's
it is.
right.
Um,
I know exactly what you're saying, so you don't need to say it that on air. I understand what
right,
you mean.
right. So
It's solved.
right, it's solved.
Right.
So
But I don't feel that way that it was solved allowed, he still has his own guilt way, life way down, and he can stay in an earthbound spirit until it's time to not be there.
right, right,
I'd like to lie to you and just tell you he's up in heaven, and that's what everybody wants to hear. That's what Sylvia
right,
Brown would tell everybody, that everybody just made it to heaven. They make it to the other side, and it's great and it's wonderful. But the truth of the fact is, your emotions control where you go when you leave. And if you are emotionally weighed down by hurt and
pain.
pain and suffering,
Right,
how can you rise?
that's right.
How can you rise if you don't take off your cement shoes? And the only way to release that hurt, that pain, that suffering is to focus on the goodness of other people, is what I did, but to focus on something different than that hurt, that pain. That means you need to get your purpose. You need to figure out what comes easy. You need to figure out how you're going to make money at it. You need to figure out what group of people you can help with it and what group of people will help you on your mission.
That's right.
It comes all back to that.
Mm, amen to that. Amen to that. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I think, I want to thank Jennifer for connecting us. You are fabulous. I want to know more about what you're doing. And we're gonna talk. You got my information. We can talk. Um, off air and stuff like that. Because the thing about me. Yes, 100 Facebook friends, guys. Make sure you guys get a copy of that book. She's trying to reach a goal, and it will be great if you guys help out and get yourself a copy. And we'll really appreciate it. That's all. Definitely rooms people go depending on what you did in life. Yeah.
What was the question?
No, that was Brian. He said definitely different realms where people go depending on what you did in life. Well, and
Right,
in my nephew's situation, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
right.
He had nothing to do with what was going on. He just knew the crowd of people that were there. He was hanging out, and then this
Oh,
other
that makes sense.
you
Okay,
know
so he's just hanging out right now. So he's not being weighed down. There's a difference. He's
right,
not being weighed down. He's weighing down. He's staying around because he wants to be around you guys. He's making a choice.
right,
It would
right,
be different if he was all in the middle of the growth. But see, that's what I didn't understand, because he got murdered. Yeah, he's weighing down, like he's weighing himself. He's putting on the cement shoes because he wants to stay here. His time wasn't really up. Where
right,
else is he gonna go? He has to be here until his time's up. He's just gonna go hang out with you homies for a while.
right. So because Brian, he's a paranormal investigator, and we talk a lot about you know a paranormal stuff that happens, and people say it's either heaven or hell, right? Either heaven or hell, but there's an in between because there's spirits that are still lingering around, and my questions always have been why are they still here, and not crossed over.
Do you know Sylvia Brown? Do you remember
Uh,
Sylvia Brown? Her and I used to be friends when she was alive. She used to be on Montel Williams, did Talk to the Dead, brought
mm,
forth. Okay. She would explain things that there's different levels, different realms. So let's say we're here on this level. The people here, they're
Yes.
watching over us. And then let's say there's this level. The people on this level, the angels, people, whatever you want to call them to make yourself feel better, are watching over that level. So it's you basically have the levels of people watching over all the way down to these bad people. So it's like the 50 Shades of Gray is a different kind of 50 Shades of Gray when it comes to your soul. You can have the blackest soul to the whitest soul, and we're all just on a journey to get from one to the other. It just depends on which one you're going towards. You either are going to become full of love and light and happiness and generosity, or you can become full of hate and anger and meanness and horrible things. But it is a free will choice of that soul. And lifetime after lifetime, you just work on getting better and better and better.
Well, you can't get better and better and better after you dead.
It depends if
Can't
you
get no
believe
better. You can't
in
get no better after you're gone. So people, get better now while you're still alive,
right.
and and whatever you have in your heart, as far as um anger, you know, uh, get it out. Get that all out. Um,
Yeah, there's no place. Throw that away. Throw
yes,
that away. There's no
put
place for
peace
that.
put peace in your heart and love, man, because that's you know to for me, my opinion, to enter the gates of heaven, you have to go there with a pure heart, not with a pure heart with nothing in your heart. Say, well, I went to her, but I hated my grandmother or I hated my girlfriend. You can't go there with hate in your heart.
Right.
God's gonna be like, you're good, but I can see that seed that's planted in your heart of hate, and
Right.
this up here is all about love and forgiveness. We see us people. We got to learn. We have to learn how to forgive. Because um, you know, uh, it's just part of life. We got to learn how to forgive. And I know a lot of people have hard time forgiving people, but you know, you have to go up there with a pure heart. With no hate and none of that.
Well, when you a lot of people don't want to hear that they have to forgive because they're not ready. They're just not there yet because
Right.
I don't want to be an emotional bag stuffer. I'm not saying don't experience when you're going through that emotion. Experience that emotion, cry it out, get angry, experience it to its fullness, but then let it go.
Exactly. Exactly. Gotta let it go.
Yes, and it's not like, hey, here's a phone, I can let it go like that. That's not what we mean by let it go. That
No.
means focus on something different. Retrain your brain to focus on a different thing than what it is, that the thing that's weighing you down where you just cry. Because I deal with PTSD. I have to work on it all the time. I mean, I've been raped and beaten and abused so many times that stuff comes up, and I have day nightmares, not just night nightmares, but day nightmares. So I have to constantly refocus, stay positive. It might be hanging around a friend, it might be call a friend, it might be post something, but it's look for something good every day. Or as my friend Jen and Chris from the Super Connectors will say, and they are also in this book, by the way,
Okay.
both of them, they will say, hope, help one person every day.
Every day.
And that's what spreads hope. So shout out to Jen and Chris from the Super Connectors. Sorry.
Big shout out to
But,
them.
but yes, that's the same thing. Either focus on something new and help somebody every day. Just one person. And then that can help you to refocus to change other things.
Brian
And
says, I'm sorry, Brian says maybe unfinished business for them staying.
yes, that's also a reason why souls stay if they have unfinished business.
Well, I'm gonna make sure I do everything I gotta do before I go because I ain't trying to stay here.
Yeah, make sure that, yeah, I want
I
to
don't
live
want
my
to
life
fight.
to the fullest and do as much as I possibly can with as many years as I possibly have. I'm still looking for a man out there. So if there's a king of kindness out there, get in touch with me.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
No, but
She
no,
said it. She said it,
they
not
had
me.
they have to be ready to be going out there and being kind in the way that I am, thoughtful, generous, helping foster care,
Yeah.
wanting to make a difference in the world and not just be a couch potato who gets up and goes to a job and comes home and gets up and goes to a job and comes home. I would never do well with that.
Right. So basically, you want someone that's in the same field, that's doing what you're doing. Um, you know.
I want someone who has a caring heart.
But here, did you catch
That that
my heart?
that
Did
fits.
you?
That fits. That
That
fits.
thing.
That fits. Somebody preferably in the same state or close enough to get to once in a while.
Yeah. Okay. 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 I hear you. Okay. I hear you. So, you know, this is an amazing story. That you have here. And people, please make sure you guys reach out, get this book. 100 Facebook friends. Um, this is a great story she got there. Please support it and go online and cop it. She has many more books besides this one, but this is the one she's pushing right now. So
Right.
please be supportive because that's what we're here for. Um, and I'm gonna connect you.
With
Um,
Brian.
I'm gonna connect you to some other talk shows that
Okay.
that I know of. Mike Wagner, great good friend of mine. He's on iHeartRadio, Spotify Radio, you name it. He's on there. My other friend, Rebecca Mahan, which is another talk show. Um,
Rebecca.
Brian Lavardi, if he's willing to have you on his show, um, he'll definitely put you on, and you can, because he's about the people. I'm pretty sure he'll love to have you on the show to help you expand and talk about your book. And so I'll share that with you. I got some other people: Shauna Gibson, another talk show host, Kay Shoya from Manhattan, Brandy Martin from Chicago. Um, so I'll connect you with some people so you can um, expose your book and talk about it and get more people to buy the book. Okay, so definitely, I want to thank you, Sabrina, for coming on the show. Oh, here go my friend, Andy Poland. Hey, hi, Andy.
Oh, hi, Andy.
Andy, this is my guest, Sabrina Oxford. She book writer. She's an amazing person. This is the book she wrote. 100 Facebook friends. And Andy, you're not one of my friends.
Oh no.
I'm only kidding. She's amazing. We joke a lot, so she knows I'm kidding. But this is what I love about this show, Sabrina, because the fact that we have an interview, we have fun, and I try to make you as comfortable as you can, to be on the show, and I hope that I did that. And you know, I have so many amazing people on my friend list and on my show that are great people, and and I'm pretty sure that they'll help out. Um, and hopefully Jennifer and you can talk, and I would love to see a film of your story put together. I think it'll touch so many people,
Well, you're talking
including me.
Jennifer.
Yeah,
She's the producer.
yes, she is. She said, "Nice meeting you, beautiful lady."
Well, thank you very much, Andy.
I'm gonna get it, Victor. You see, they're already trying to beat me up. They're trying to beat me up already. Oh my goodness. I get in trouble. I get in trouble all the time. Don't worry, Sabrina. It happens. So Andy, real quick, since I introduced you guys. Andy is she's an actress, director. She has a show on YouTube called Grams. It's like a comedy show.
Oh, right
Um,
on.
and she's amazing. I've been, we're gonna link up, her and I, and talk about future projects once she comes back from Mars.
Once she comes back from Mars.
Yeah, I keep her away from me, far away from me. I keep her Mars, Pluto, all Mercury. I keep her way out of the United States.
Gone. Just
She's gone.
gone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. But I want to thank you for coming on the show, Sabrina. You've been great. I'm gonna bring you back on the show in a couple months, kind of for an update to see, what you've been doing and what you're trying to do, to see if we can help you in any way, with anything. Um, and if you want to reach out to any of my friends on my friend list, you're welcome to. Um, and yeah,
It
and thank.
usually works better if you contact them and say, "Hey, Sabrina wants to come on, or Sabrina
Oh
can come
no,
on."
yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to reach out
Sweet.
to them. I'm going to reach out to them and definitely recommend you to them. Mike Wagner is amazing. He's a great. You're gonna love him. He sounds like when he does his talk show, he sounds like a robot. You might be just animated because he talks so fast. He talk fast. And you got to catch up with him, okay? Because Mike Wagner is no joke. But everyone I sent to Mike Wagner, they'd be like, "Well, he talk fast, and he sound like he pre-recording everything." I know that's just the way he is, but he's amazing, and I'm definitely gonna talk to him today. Send him your information, and I'm gonna send you his information, and I'm gonna let him know that you're gonna reach out to him, and I'm gonna let him know who you are, what you do, and what you're trying to do. Save me her Facebook link, Victor. That's Brian. So you already got one already trying to bring you on the
All
show.
right. All
So
right, Brian, let's hook it up. We're doing it. All right,
yeah.
pathway created. I'm on that pathway. It is done.
Yes. So see, this is what we do on my show. This is why I love my people, and because we're here for each other. We're here for one each other. We help each other out, and we all uplift each other because we all we grow together, and Brian is a great guy. Brian knows a lot of people. He has so many people on his platform that he can connect you to, as well. I have a couple. Um, Mike Wagner has people. Rebecca Mahan might have some other podcasts that she might want you to come on. So you'll be in a few. You're gonna be in a few podcasts. So
That's okay. Let's set them up.
yeah,
We got to get the story out. We got to change foster care. We got to get some book sales so that I have an opportunity to change foster care. So yeah, if the world's opening up to me, I'm not going to stop it.
right. That's right.
Just walk the path.
That's right. That's all we can do is walk the path. Have you thought about doing like going like to a library and sell your books? Like do like an event where people could come and buy your book or
Um,
sign art. Sign your books out or something like that.
Right, book signings. Yeah,
Book
that's one
signing.
of the things that one of the things of becoming an author is setting up book signings. And usually the libraries are the locations to go to for book signings, and they'll have, like author coming down for a book reading, blah blah blah. It's just a matter of getting in there.
Okay. Have you?
I have done them in the past. I know we didn't really talk about what had happened, but I had stopped writing the books after I got held captive and had to go through a bunch of healing time from that. Ironically, the stuff that I went through foster care and growing up didn't compare to the healing I needed to go through 5 months of a really horrible situation with two other gals. But that's over with, and I'm mostly healed from that. I still have my moments, but mostly healed from that. And I started up the books again.
Right,
That's how I feel.
because you don't forget it. You can get over it, but you won't never forget that. And
Right.
and I just want to say I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Um, but it made you who you are today, and I love who you are today.
Right on. Thank you.
So I think you're in the right path. I think that you're going to be an amazing writer, um, and
Oh,
I'm gonna be happy to say I know her personally.
That's
When you
right.
get up there to the top, I know her. I know who she is. Oh, matter of fact, let me call her.
That's
Hey,
right. I got her digits.
I got her digits, okay? so so yeah, so thank you for coming on, and I'm gonna bring you back on in a couple months. We'll be talking. I'm gonna get together all the people that I'm gonna connect you with, starting with Brian, and then I just keep sending you the people that I'm going to connect you to. I'm gonna let them know who you are. I'm gonna let them know that I'm gonna send you over to them, so they can have you on their show. Um, and they're pretty cool about it. So you will be on several podcasts.
Andy seems to be concerned about me not remembering you.
How she ain't gonna remember this ugly face?
Oh
Oh, she better. Okay, Andy. She gonna remember me. Okay.
no! Thanks, Andy, for stopping by and making us laugh. That was funny. I will always remember those who have been kind to me. I forget those who are mean to me. I don't. People had asked me why I haven't wrote books where it talks about those stories, and the reason is I just don't feel that negativity should be moralized.
Well, I need help. I need you to help me because all I get is look at that. She's laughing. All I get is beat up on, joked on. Everybody's a jokester. And
Now, that's how it's supposed to be. You
yeah,
wouldn't know Andy cared if Andy didn't give you a hard time once in a while.
yeah. I love Andy, and she's been on my show. She's been on my show, and she has a story of her own. Um, but I'm glad you came on here today and you spoke about, foster care. I think that's very important for the viewers to know and the people to know what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
What you see on TV, it's not what it is. This woman here has lived it, has been behind the scene, and is telling us a story of how she came up in foster care, the abuse, mentally, physically, and the other stuff you've been through. I don't really want to say it, but the other stuff you've been through, being
Yeah.
in the hands of foster care. And I just want the people to know that we're bringing awareness to you guys, because you might know somebody that's in a foster care or in a home. Could be a friend of yours, it could be a daughter, it could be anyone, and you need to check up on them and make sure that everything is fine. Okay. Not everybody's talking. Absolutely, that's Andy.
Yeah. Not everybody talks about it. They keep it.
Brian,
They
Brian,
don't know that they can talk about it because in their experience, if they're going through a bad, and not everyone's like that. There's going to be a percent that does end up in a good home, and
right,
hallelujah, praise that tiny, tiny percent.
right,
But um, but the ones that are in the bad homes, they don't know that they can tell. They're going to get moved. They're afraid to tell because they'll
right.
get moved. That's what they know. That's what their experience is. To them, it means another school, another new set of friends, another new set of parents,
That's
being
right.
a tree that you can never plant your roots into. You become a full grown adult getting emancipated from the system without ever having roots that are grounded into anything.
Right. So Brian says, "You're a good-looking man, Victor. I have your back," and he's laughing. But I get it why he's saying because we both got the same look going on. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. You're handsome yourself, brother. Thank you so much. I got somebody got my back because Andy is saying, "Get in touch with me, Sabrina." So there goes
All
one of
right.
my friends wanting to get in contact with you. Look at what I go through. Look at what I go through. Andy, Brian needs glasses. Saying he needs glasses because he thinks I'm handsome. You see what I'm saying? These are the friends I have.
Well, wait. No, wait, no. I got glasses.
Okay, can you see me? Can you see the beauty?
Oh, the beauty's there now.
Oh, hey. So, these are the
All
amazing.
right. So we got Brian and we got Andy.
You got Brian, Andy. I'm gonna connect you to Andy. We're friends, so you can look her up on my page and you can friend request her. Andy
Yeah.
Poland and Brian J. Laverty. Um, but I'm gonna send it to you just anyway, and you can reach out to them. They already know who you are, so that'd be great. I'm gonna reach out to Mike Wagner, Rebecca Mayan, and a few other people. So see if they can bring you on their show.
Sweet. Thank you. Many blessings. That is a great. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, and I'm grateful.
I don't have a better word than grateful. How about supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Supercalifragilistic. I like that one. My sister used to say that to me a lot.
Did she sing it backwards?
No.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
No, I can't say that. Even if you recorded it for me, I couldn't say it backwards.
Docious-ala-expiasticfragilisticaliupus.
Okay, well, Eliupus. I ain't got lupus.
When that song, what is that, Mary Poppins, whatever that came out, the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and the Mary Poppins, I listened to that song over and over and over and over until I memorized it.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Love you too, brother. Thank you, man. See, all my brothers.
David. Hi, David. We didn't say hi to David.
Yes, all my brothers show me love. It's my sisters that don't love me. I don't get it. Andy be throwing me under the bus. She'll throw me out of a plane without a parachute if she had a chance.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she would. And she'll think it's comedy. Well, let me throw him out to see how he lands. I love my Andy boy. Look, she laughing too. Look, laughing my ass off. Oh my goodness, she laughing because she know that could be a possibility that she throw my ass out the plane. But anyway, thank you again, Sabrina, for coming on, and I'll bring you on in a couple more months, like I said earlier, and see where you at with your book and see the progress on your book and see if anything needs to be done to help you, get some more sales. Getting some more sales out. Listen, you're gonna love Andy. That's the book, 100 Facebook friends. Oh, you got to put 99.
The Queen of Kindness strikes again. 100 Facebook friends.
-1. Andy.
Why?
Andy. Minus Andy.
Hey, Andy's not in here. She's going to have to make the next book.
Oh, please, listen. So make it 99 friends. Yes.
The next book is going to be called People in My Neighborhood, I think.
Oh, really?
Yep, I have the book jacket.
Thank you, Brian.
I like it. People in My Neighborhood.
Okay, so Andy say 101.
I was going to call it Gathering Stepping Stones. So to be perfectly honest, I'm tossing those two names. Maybe it'll be two books. One will be one will be the other. We'll see what happens in life.
Okay. Well, I wish you the best and keep doing what you're doing. I think you're doing a great job at what you're doing. And definitely look into that empty school. I think that's a phenomenal idea, fabulous idea to, make a program for foster kids. I think that's so dope.
Right. That will be more of summer next year that we'll be able to accomplish that goal, depending on what's going on with the sales of the 100 Facebook friends, right, which can be on Amazon, Lulu, and Barnes & Noble. Now, if they buy it on lulu.com/spotlight/Sabrina Oxford, if you get it on Lulu, it only takes 10,000 books to send a foster kid to college. If you get on Amazon, it only takes 10,000 books to send a foster kid to college. If you get on Barnes & Noble, it takes 20,000 books to send a foster kid to college because Barnes & Noble takes out a higher percent.
So we're going to have to talk to Nobles. We're going to have to send some people over there, but hey, what's going on with this? You're going to have to lower that down a little bit.
Right.
Right. So
Lulu
so
or Amazon is the best options
okay.
to help foster care.
And that's not just the only book. You got several other books that are on those on you know on Amazon
Yeah,
that you're selling.
yeah. If you Google Sabrina Oxford, like I said, we have here's another one, The Invisible. What did we do with the other ones? Hang on. Here's another one. Brightest Blessings. Try to be a rainbow in somebody's cloud.
Mm,
And then, of course, the Worthy Book. I got
okay.
that one.
Worthy. Oh, yeah, I love that.
Oh, wait. There I am a little. That was
Okay.
there's a picture of me at Halloween. I went as a queen, and the church people changed it and said, "Nope, you're a saint." Oh,
Oh, that
we
was
had
nice.
me stand by the truck full of saints.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was my happy little moment in life. And of course, I do have some children's books, 4 children's books that I wrote under my birth name with my birth mom, and it's a different genre, and that's kind of the reason why was to honor her. There's pictures of my foster parents in one book, Bongo Boy, the Bongo Boy one, and in the Candlemaker's Daughter, a picture of my birth mom.
That's great. Well, we passed our time. It's 4:37. That means we had a great time here. We had a lot to
Yeah.
talk about, and I love that, And this is good about my show. I usually give people an hour on the show, but since I am the host and it's my show, we go as far as we wanted to go. You know what I mean? So
Right.
right. So I'm glad. I'm glad we went over an hour and a half. That's so dope. Um, and so yeah, so I'll see you in a couple of months, and I'm gonna reach out to you right after the show. I know I got another show at 7 o'clock, but I'm gonna start texting some of my people, Brian, Andy, and you guys connect. And again, if I can help in any way, or I'm just a text away.
Right on. All right. Well, I'll get in touch with those, and you tell Jen that we need to have a movie and see what she. I don't know where she's at in life. She might be kind of pooped out, tired, but if she has another movie in her, she'll pull it out.
Right. Plus, I know a lot of directors too. It don't. If Jennifer doesn't feel like she's up to it. We can talk to other people about the plan. About your project or your idea and see what they think about it.
All right. Sounds wonderful. All
Okay.
right. Progressing forward. That's what we like. Forward progression.
That all day. So thank you, and I wish you the best.
God bless and have a very good evening.
Okay.
Stay
Bye.
blessed.
Bye. Yes, yes, yes. That's my friend Sabrina Oxford. I want to thank everybody that logged in and showed their support. Brian, reach out to her. Andy, reach out to her. Everyone else that's watching that can support her, reach out to her. This is what the show is all about. It's about supporting one another. It's about growing together and putting out the message to the people. And again, anyone that wants to be on the Don Vic Show, you have a story to tell, just inbox me. We'll send you a date and time to come on the show, and we can talk about whatever story it is that you want to tell. Um, because you never know who you might inspire by telling your story. Okay. This is the one and only show, the Don Vic Show. Ain't no show like my show. I know there's plenty of platforms out there, but this is where you come when you tell your story. All right. And we have fun while we do it. Because this is the fun show. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. I'm going to leave y'all with peace, love, respect. Andy, come down from the moon. It's about that time. And I'll see you guys later. I'm out of here.